Hello, this is Ikram of King Sukurui, The Evolution of I. Are you lost in life? Are you looking for direction as to where to go in this journey of life that we're all in together? I'm going to share with you a very powerful and eye-opening life coaching tool known as the life cycle, which we can all use to identify areas of where we can develop further in order to achieve more in life. This is called the life cycle, and this is a tool that I used on myself a few years ago, and I'll use that as an example so we all have an idea as to how to use the tool. Firstly, what you need is a piece of paper and a pen, and draw yourself a circle and cut that circle into segments of 4, 6, 8, however many you feel, depending on the areas of your life you want to focus on. Now, when I used this tool, I used personal development, my love life, my social life, my friends and family, my financial situation, and my career. Those were the most prominent areas in my life at that time. And then you score yourself very honestly between 1 and 0 where you are. And once you've identified all those areas, you can see where the weaknesses are and where your strengths are and what you can concentrate on to develop a little further. So using myself as an example, what I did at the time was, looking over this way, my love life at the time was, I'd say, somewhat non-existent. I wasn't really dating, I wasn't really out there, putting myself out there. I wasn't lonely, I was very happy in myself, but I didn't have a life companion. But if I were to have scored myself, I would have given myself maybe a 2. My social life, again, it wasn't dire, but financially I wasn't able to commit myself to a lot of the social things a lot of my friends were doing. So again, I'd probably give that a 2. My friends and family, I had a lot of friends, I had a lot of family that were very supportive, and they were always there for me, so that wasn't a negative, but there was always room for improvement. I'd give myself a 7. My financial situation wasn't very great, and I'll explain why in just a moment, and maybe a lot of us can understand and familiarize ourselves. Again, that was at a 2. My career at the time, I was working within retail as an operative, a little bit lost, enjoying life, but just going nowhere really, somewhat of a nomad. And that, I guess, I had a job, which was better than nothing. I put myself at maybe a 4. And my personal development after I graduated from university, I chose that was the upper echelon, that was the peak, and I don't need to study anymore. A big mistake for a lot of us, because your brain is like a muscle, and the more you exercise it, the more powerful it becomes. So my personal development, again, was almost non-existent. It was at a 2. I was reading newspapers, staying up to date with current affairs. So what I learned from all of this is that I've got a lot of areas in my life that I can improve on. But it's almost impossible to target and hit all the areas at the same time. But what you can do, and this is what I did, and this may be helpful for you, and if it is, wonderful. I chose to target one area that would have more compounding effects than all the others. I chose to concentrate on personal development. And what I did was, I just threw myself out there. I looked for weekend courses and courses I could do online. Courses I could do by myself and enroll in. So I chose to do an NLP course, a course in life coaching, a course in body language, a course in cognitive behavioral therapy. They were very difficult, but it was very challenging. And what I found was, as my personal development went up and I became more knowledgeable and more qualified, my career prospects went up, because I was in a position to give more, because as I had more knowledge, I was in a position of counsel, and I was able to counsel more, and I had more knowledge to give out. And as my career prospects went up, my financial situation increased. Obviously, the higher up you go, the more you earn. And as your earnings go up, you have more disposable income, which means you have more money to spend on social aspects of your life. And by socializing more, what you'll find is you're able to mingle with more people, you're able to put yourself out there, and you can meet more people, and your love life can go on. See, what I learned from this was that by concentrating and putting all your energy into one area of your life, that probably the most significant, would be to develop your brain. And like I mentioned, it is like a muscle, and the more you exercise it, the more powerful it becomes, and the more you're able to give back, and the more valuable you become. So concentrating in a particular area that you want to improve in, and put all of your energy into that one, and what you'll find is that will have ripple and compounding effects on everything else. And if you have enjoyed this, please like, suggest for other things you might be interested to develop further. This is Ikram of Kingsukeroy, the evolution of I, the evolution of us. Speak with you soon. God bless you.